Welcome to Wild Angle episode 7, and this week I'm going to show you how to take awesome pictures of plants just like this. Well, we've reached week 7, and thanks for sticking with me this far. You seem to be enjoying it or suffering it, or there's nothing else to do, one of those things. Week 6 on bees, really successful. Thanks for that. Thanks for the lovely comments you've given me. And thanks to the people that have gone out and actually tried it and sent me some pictures. And I'm going to give you some love, and I'm going to show you them right now because you deserve love for going out to try this. So the first picture we have here is from Tony Marsh. It's a beautiful bee fly hovering, razor sharp, lovely composition, lovely colours. Proboscis right inside the flower. Look at that. Look at the timing. Nice blur on the wings. Good shot, Tony. Next one. Colin Knock. Look at Colin. Wow. Lovely against the bokeh of the background there, flying. And portrait as well. A bit more advanced there. A bit difficult. All right, the next one. This is from Ida. Now, Ida apologises to me. She writ me a long... She writ me... Where's my English? She wrote to me a long apology saying sorry she shot it with a wide angle, and next time she promises to shoot it with a 40 to 150. Well, thanks for the apology, no needed, but we'd love to see the 40 to 150 shots as well. And finally, kind of same thing but different species. Yes, wow, look at that. Hawk moth from Bob Price Adams. I keep glancing away because my laptop's here. From Bob, look at that, look at that. It's beautiful colours. And Bob, he was a little bit reticent to put it online, really, because he said, oh, I haven't got a very good camera kit and I'm not a good photographer. You're what? You are a really good photographer. That is a beautiful picture, my friend. I have never seen a hawk moth, and if I photographed it half as well as that, I would be made up, which is a Cockney term for being all right, my son. All right, the film this week is on flowers. Andy Rouse, flowers. Those of you that travel with me know what I think about flower photography. Well, basically I've got no skill in it whatsoever, but right at this time, during lockdown, we've got to find new skills. That's why I tried the bees, and I've been trying lots of low angle and really interesting shots of dandelions and other flowers in my garden and the field next door, all in complete safety, complete isolation. But the techniques I've been using have not been with my brand new macro. Look at that, I bought my 60mm macro this week. It's not with that. It's with my 300, and I'm going to show you how to get some really cool ethereal pictures with a long lens. It goes on a bit, just enjoy it. I kind of talking to you and having a conversation, so you can go away, make a cup of tea and come back again, and I'll see you after. Well, Wild Man Rouse by name, Wild Man Rouse by nature. Normally at this time of the year, I am away photographing something in some far-flung country, and I miss all of this cool stuff that happens in the spring. This time, during lockdown, I've been able to appreciate the sheer beauty of my garden, and I've really enjoyed finding and photographing common things, you know, and I mean common things. I'm lucky enough to have a reasonable sized garden to find some stuff in. I'm so lucky to have stuff like this. I mean, look at that. How beautiful is that? Nature couldn't make anything more beautiful. And we all love dandelions, right? We've all blown dandelion seed heads as kids. In fact, my daughter does now. I kind of do now as well, if I'm honest with you. How beautiful is that? Now, when I come to photograph it, of course, I want to photograph it in my own style. So the point of this film is to show you several techniques that I use with several different dandelions in several different situations to get what I think is some really cool pictures that I know that you can do as well. So let's have a go, shall we? Now, if I was to give this project to my great friend Grant Radford, he'd get his macro lens on that, he'd do a focus stack and he'd create pure art. It's unbelievable, and I wouldn't be able to do anything like that because he's a genius and that's what he does. I can't do that. I'm not a macro genius. I use my long lens. It's what I did in Wild Angle episode 6 with the bees, and it's what I'm going to do now to show you how to get really good pictures of these flowers, because using a long lens is great because it isolates the background, isolates the foreground, compresses the subject, makes you focus on the composition, and if you get it right, it's awesome and it looks really ethereal. It's kind of a flower in isolation. You can take a few flowers together if you like, but I'm very much looking for single flowers in isolation, and I'm going to feature dandelions during this film. So let's photograph this one. Now, this trick only works if you get low in the grass, because you want the grass in the way of your picture. So in the foreground here, it blurs everything up until your intended lovely, lovely flower. The fact that you're using a long lens will blur the background out as well. So that part is very, very easy. I've got a depth of field of f4, which with the micro 4/3 is about f4 would be about f8-ish. So if you're shooting this with a normal lens, you'd probably use 7.18, something like that. So I hope that you see that shooting low is a really, really good technique for getting these flowers. Try it, it's really cool. But of course, I'm not happy with that. I want to take it to the next level and take a picture like this. Yeah, look at that. I went out and got this last night, okay? Amazing sunset last night, just on the other side of this fence here, where I live. I went out and got it there. The whole field is full of the dandelion heads. So I went out and got it last night, and I'm gonna go out and try and mimic it tonight for you and show you how to do it. Now, I'm a little bit worried because it was windy last night and there was quite a lot of rain. So you never know what we're gonna find. You might find the whole field has actually gone. But anyway, I get to show you the technique because it's a superb way of photographing these dandelion heads. Well, I'm just on the edge of the garden here, about to hop over into the field. And the good news is there appears to be some dandelions left. The bad news is where I photographed them last night, I don't think they are. But let's go and have a look anyway. The sun is not as perfect as well, but do you know what? I mean, I don't mind showing you this stuff where it goes wrong, because it means I'll have to make up for it with lots of extended tips as well, if I can manage not to fall over this gate when I get over. Oh, I tell you, age, getting over gates when you're old, it never gets any easier, does it? Right, so let's have a look. Well, there's some very long dandelions here by the field edge, but what I'm trying to do is get them against the setting sun, which is there, that mass behind me, right? So to get them against the setting sun, I've got to take them a long way from this hedge in the middle of the field. And I do understand that a lot of you don't have access to a field like this, but you will have, because we will get out of this eventually, and eventually you will be able to do all of this good stuff, and you'll be able to apply all these lovely tips, and you'll write to me and say, Andy, you were right to do it. Anyway, I'm waffling because I'm walking across a sea of empty dandelion heads. I've got to head to the far side of the field, so look, to save me waffling all the way, I'll talk to you when we're closer. Now, I'm not quite at the dandelions because I got waylaid by a pretty little white thing over there. It's an amazing little flower. I've got no idea what it is because I'm not botanist or plant expert. I just know it's beautiful. I've got the sun coming in from this side onto the side of it. It's all beautiful green surroundings. I'm getting very low in the grass. You see how low I am here? So I'm actually looking through, and it's an absolutely beautiful picture. I'm going to shoot at f4. ISO 200, and it's minus 0.7, and you can hear me shooting. Now I'm shooting portrait. What I'm going to do, I'm going to shoot some landscapes, but I might be a bit too close. Let's have a look. No, that's a beautiful picture. Right, that was brilliant. Dandelion hunt continues. Bingo, it's my perfect dandelion. Now look at that amazing structure in the seed heads. This is a perfect one. And I've been looking the whole field for one that's quite tall, that stands above the others, but it's got to be in isolation. I don't want any other dandelions next to it, because what I'm gonna do, I'm not gonna shoot it with the light on it like this. I'm gonna shoot it into the setting sun. Okay, and I'm gonna try and do that, like you see there. Look at that for Rouse's filmmaking. I'm going to try and line it up with the setting sun there and get a really beautiful picture. Let's just get down really low. Well, obviously I'm using the 300 because it's beautifully throwing everything out behind. I'm using a low aperture. I'm using f4 for this on the Micro Four Thirds. That'd be about f8 normally. So what I'd probably do if you weren't shooting, I'd probably set it to 4 to 5.6 anyway, no matter what. Focusing is going to be no issue because you're always going to get the focus on here because it's backlit. I put the white balance on shade because I want to have that nice kind of coloured effect of shooting backlit. And really, I'm exposing myself. I'm experimenting. Let's not talk about my experimentation. Actually, it's the wrong video. This is not a Tuesday, is it? Sorry, wrong class and wrong outfit. I'm not dressed as a vicar. I'm experimenting with the exposure. This is why you watch this. It's random. With the exposure compensation. So I've gone down at the moment. Let's have a look. Get down in the grass too. Where are we? There you are, my old son. I've just got one bit of grass I've got to go and remove. I'll be back in a minute. There it is. Thing is, if you look from this angle, you can't see any light. But if you get down right in the grass, I'm going to stamp this down so it doesn't keep going up my nose. But if you get right down in the grass, you can actually see the light. Oh, I can see the sun. It's turning red. Do you know what I said about this may not work? You never know. It's about 2 minutes to sunset. I don't expect you to stay with me for 2 minutes, right? But it's 2 minutes to sunset, and I can just see what's going on. And anyone else might think, do you know what? I'm going to get up and move. Don't get up and move. Stay here. Stay in the place. You came to do this shot. Do your best to get this shot. Oh, never give up. Hold on. Never give up. Hold on. Has it got a red rim? Now, I can actually get it as I want it there. And the sun, I've got to come up a little bit to get it in the orb of the sun, which I'm doing now. And that's actually got a beautiful dandelion picture right in the sun. Right, sorry. Yeah, okay. Well, that's, do you know, it shows you there as a lesson, you know, that you never know what's going to happen, right? So I was talking, when suddenly I thought, bang, the light suddenly came on. The sun was there. It was there for a few brief seconds. And because I'd taken the time to set up and get it all working and chatting to you, I was able to get some pretty decent shots. And I'm very happy with that. So what did we learn tonight? Okay, so backlit is good. Silhouettes are good. This is something that you can try anywhere. In your garden, you can try it if you get late light. If not, as soon as you're allowed out into the real world again, there's plenty of meadows in the UK, beautiful places to be. Any wildflowers look good backlit or side lit. Keep the aperture low, f4, take bug spray, and enjoy yourself with a smile, as you can see I've done tonight. I know this has gone on a bit, but I thought you might actually just quite like to see what it's live. It's going to be a complete nightmare to edit. But I will leave you with some beautiful pictures that I've taken over the past few nights of something so simple, a dandelion, that many of you may not have looked at in this light, and I hope that you do now, because wildflowers are just awesome. Here you go. I did warn you that it was going to ramble a lot, didn't I? But I like having this conversation with you because I think it's quite good. I know it's not the same polished thing that you get from certain photographers, but I think you learn a lot more by listening to things as I'm thinking about them and as I'm adapting to situations and changes in the situations that I get. And you saw there the genuine reaction when it all works and it all comes together. I will assure you that when I'm photographing a mammal or a bird or something shy, I do a quiet mini fist pump, and sometimes it's an internal one. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed that. Please do get out and try those techniques in your garden and further afield when we're allowed to do so, because it's a great technique to get some really cool stuff and really different looking pictures. Now, on to the critiques. A few of you, in fact, quite a few of you have sent in pictures for critiques. I'm sorry I haven't got to it in time when you've sent them, so we've put them in a queue and we're going to just deal with them over the next few weeks. So I'm going to start off with 3 pictures today. Why am I doing 5? I'm doing 5, but really I mean 3, 2, 1. I couldn't resist the Ted Rogers there. UK people will remember the dodgy Ted Rogers game show. 3, 2, 1, where you either won 5 cars or a dustbin. Anyway, all right, first picture. So shall we have a look at the first picture from Phil Curry, Phil and Barbara Curry, actually, in Australia. They come on tours with me. Really, really cool couple and great photographers, great fun to have along. And they sent me this picture of a kookaburra. I mean, a kookaburra. I've just wanted to see and just hear and, photograph a kookaburra my whole life. And they've sent me a lovely one here, so I'm going to look at it on the laptop next to me. Really nice picture, lovely angle in the frame, lovely tower coming down to the corner, positioned perfectly with the middle of the frame looking into dead space. The head slightly turned towards, which is nice, which means the beak is in. The eye's got really beautiful light in it. I love the color on it. It's got a diffuse background. It's shot with 100 to 400. Now, what would I do to make that different? Well, here you go. Here's what I've done. I want that picture to jump from the screen and go, "Rah!" Wasn't that a horror story for you? I mean, I'm probably scared children now. I want your pictures to jump from the screen when you show them, okay? And the only way you can get them to jump is you get the curve on the midtones and pull it up a bit. So I've pulled the midtones up a bit on this to brighten it up. I've taken a 10% brush and just washed around the background a bit just to take out a lot of the highlights I didn't actually like. I've put more detail on the kookaburra and a tiny bit of warmth. 2 minutes. Great picture. Now, Phil said to me, as well as an additional question, how do I get this taking off? Well, first of all, if you're going to get it taken off, you can't do portraits. You're going to do one or the other, take off or portrait. So you did portrait, beautiful. Next time, that's obviously a favorite perch, you might come back. If it comes back and sits on the perch, shoot very, very, very wide angle. Put it in one corner of the frame, so it's got right at the bottom here, so it's got all the space to take off into. You need at least a 2,000th, probably a 4,000th or more of a second to even have a chance. So it's got to be really high ISO. Forget worrying about high ISO. What counts is about getting the picture. High ISO is for forums to talk about forever. And God, they're so boring when they do. ISO doesn't matter. Getting the shot that counts. I can remove noise from your shots, no problem at all. What I can't do is remove blur. So that's how you would do it. You've got to set your mind up, Phil, to do one thing or the other. And we're going to do one on that in the future. Next picture. Wow, Rainer sent us a picture of a beaver that he got from his evening 1 hour health walk. Beaver. I mean, how can you get a beaver? I get sparrows on my health walk if I'm lucky, or a dog. But he's got a beaver on his walk. I can't believe it. Really beautiful light. I mean, when I look at this picture, it's the background I want to just tone down. It's a little bit distracting, and the beaver's a little bit too central for me. So what I've done, I've put the beaver slightly more on the right, come in from the top there, and just squash the picture in a bit. And I've taken a brush that's 10% again, but black this time. You can use that, and just washed over the back just to tone it down. You can use a black brush just to tone down backgrounds and leaves and stuff, and that's it. I've brought a little bit more sharpness in the beaver, but that's all you need because it's a really corking picture. And he sent us another one, another beaver, and it's about to do a bit of chewing action on that log. Now, what I've done here, I think the top was too distracting, so I've taken some top out, squashed it in a little bit. I've used the branch to come out of the right-hand side as a leading line all the way in, which is really, really nice, I think, to the beaver. A bit more detail on the beaver. I've done nothing to the color because the color is awesome. So thank you for sending in your pictures, and please send me in more to critique because it's my absolute pleasure. Keep up the great work. That's the end of the show for this week. Hope you enjoyed it. It's been a bit rambly, but also there's been a ton of really good tips, and I hope that you like the style. I am more interested in giving you really good information that you can use to get your own pictures. Now, and because of that, in the next week, I'm going to start to put together my series of webinars that are for a nominal fee, going to teach you an awful lot about photography. We're going to start off with a whole seminar on creating atmospheric images, working with light. There'll be 5 different parts to that. And also one on Tiger 101 photography, so how to get really good big cat images in the field. Composition, lighting, angles, telling a story, that kind of thing. They will all be on the social media, but I'll put them on here too. Meanwhile, I hope that you all get out and do your flowers and have some fun wherever you are in the world. I always want to see them. Remember, I just want to see them that you've done in the last week. As always with lockdown, it's not easing. Please don't go out and make a mistake. Please continue to stay at home and observe all the protocols and everything, because it is important. We will win this fight, but we all need to do it together. So until next week, be nice to each other and see you then. Bye.